Okay, welcome back. Back at it again. I want to try and get this gas tank cleaned up. It has been it's been less than 24 hours that I've had the MEK in the tank, but I want to take a little peek in and see if I'm making any headway. So I'm going to stand it up and I'm going to peek in through the filler. It's a lot easier than taking out the float. And I'll have a look inside, see if we're winning. Just got that on there loosely. I was a little worried that little plastic cap was going to get eaten even just by the fumes, but so far so good. Okay, that's the bulkhead I'm looking at there. Okay. A little bit harder to get a good look going in through the filler, but to me it looks like it's working. So I'm going to keep doing it a while longer, maybe give it another day, and we'll see again. And I might try and empty that MEK out. Maybe put a little bit more in for a rinse. And yeah, I think it's working. Okay, I have taken a little peek inside, and I think that MEK has been working. I'm going to pour it out, hopefully very carefully. It might be kind of hard to control because I think it's got a slosh. Anyway, let's see if I can. That's pretty close to full, so I guess pretty close at a gallon. I'm going to hang on to that for a little bit anyway. Because if I'm not quite done, I'll put it back in and let it go some more. I'm getting a little better at this. I think that way. Still a little bit of gunk sitting in there, but it seems like it's dissolved it. That's maybe a little bit of wet. Let's see what happens. See, that's the bottom of the other end of the tank. That's looking pretty good. I think if I get the rest of that MEK flushed out of there, and then it's time to I'll try to go to the other camera. Let's one side. We'll go the other side. That was the bottom of the tank. It doesn't look nearly as bad as it was. But maybe that looked pretty good on this end. Well, okay, so that is. Let me turn this around a little bit. Now I'm sure I'm going directly towards the bottom of the tank, and we'll go in there one more time. You know, there's the end of the dip tube. You know, there's that one spot there where there's still a little bit that's not dissolved, but that's really hardly anything compared to what it was. Nope. Oh, there's some down there. You know, it might be worthwhile to have another go at it. Okay, so I'm going to pour this back in again. And I'm going to pour it through a paint strainer, see if I collect anything. But doesn't look like it. There's no chunks. All that. There. I do need to block up this end to keep it somewhat level. But there we go. Better not slosh too much until I get the filler blocked off. There. I'll give that another day or two. Now this has had about another 24 hours or so. And a lot more sloshing around. I had a half a mind to throw it in the back of my side-by-side and do a little off-road, and that'd probably swish it around lots. But anyway, hopefully this is hopefully it's done now. It'll be good enough. I think it's looking a whole lot better. Some of the darker areas that I'm seeing, I think it's just basically wet rust. Certainly doesn't seem to be any kind of a buildup of goop in there. Run the camera back down, but nowhere near as much of the black tar that we were seeing last time. See, that looks more like it's just some pitting from the rust. It does have a little bit of the black, but I think it's just holding. You know, I'm going to go ahead and go under the muriatic acid. Okay. Now, what I think I'm going to do, it says you can dilute it at the 4:1 to get rid of rust. I think I'm going to use, this is a full to about here with water. So I'm going to use that much water and this whole thing of muriatic acid, and pour that in the tank, and then I'll just keep flipping it around and give it about 20 minutes to half an hour on each, and then dump it out. And guess I gotta find something to dump it into. Anyway, be back shortly. I put the float back in. Hopefully it sealed off a little bit better. Oh. Pump in the muriatic acid. water. You can see the fumes coming out of that. Well, I'll try and stay away from those. I've got the big garage door open and the door at the other end of the shop open, so I got a pretty good breeze blowing through right now. This time around, I'm going to tighten that clamp because I need to be able to do the top of the tank as well as all the other surfaces. So I don't want that all leaking out. That should do for now. Okay, setting that side up, so I guess I'm going to start with that end, and about 20 minutes to half an hour. I'll flip it, and then 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 I'll flip it, and in a couple hours, we'll drain it, flush it with fresh water, and have a look. It's been half an hour, so now I'm going to lay it on the bottom. It's been half an hour, so I'm going to flip it again. This time I think we'll look on this edge, if it'll stay there. Yeah. Slow it up. That was leaking a bit much, so I flipped it around and doing the top side. I'll probably go back to doing the other afterwards. Just I didn't want to lose too much of the solution. So yeah, we'll do the top first. It's leaking as well. I've got just a slow drip. So I've got a container underneath it catching the drip. So I'm going to give that half an hour, and then I'm going to try again and put it on the on this end, and whatever leaks out, leaks out. After that, I'm done with it anyway. I have dumped out the muriatic acid. Now I just have to rinse the tank, and so what I'm doing is I'm just pouring in a bunch of water. There's the drain, and that's the end of the the end of the pickup tube. That has cleaned up a lot. Probably see that. Let's try and move this up on a bit of an angle. And yeah, that's with the side camera. So that's pointing straight down at the bottom. And there's still a little bit of crud here and there, but okay, that's down near the far end. What? That's straight ahead, I think. It's the top of the tank. That looks beautiful. And that's the bottom, and there's a little bit of, it's not thick. Anyway, I think I'm willing to take a chance on that. That is way, way better than it was. Trying to get that tank thoroughly dry. Pretty much there. Okay, so I've got the tank pretty much dried out. I put my hot air blower down inside, well, through one hole and blowing out through the other, and fairly well dried out. One thing I'm totally amazed at is this float. After all that soaking and the various chemicals, I thought that was never ever going to move again. I thought it was seized up solid, and it'll just about fall with its own weight. I haven't checked to see if the electrical works or not. I have already ordered a new one, but I'm amazed that I was able to get that moving again. Okay, now I'm going to put that back in to seal up the hole. And then I've got a fitting here that I'm going to put into the end of that hose so I can connect it to the air pressure. And I'll plug the fuel inlet again with the hose. Now, the last time I tried to pressurize this, I blew this thing off, and it bounced off about 3 walls before coming to a rest. So I'll have to put that on there nice and tight and aim it somewhere where it's not going to hurt anything. And then we'll see what I can do about these dents. So the moment of truth. £30. That's 40 pounds, and that's not going any higher than that. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you, I was pretty nervous doing that. I did have some moderate success. Still a little too hot to touch. You can still see the crease through here, but the whole thing has pushed out. It's nowhere near as big of a dent. If I could get a dolly on the other side of that, I could hammer that all out and be just fine. And over here, it did come out quite a bit as well. A bit more in some places where I got it really hot. Like I was getting a little nervous about having a blowout, but yeah. Again, if there was some way to get a dolly in behind that, but anyway, it is what it is. I'm going to leave it at that. It's not concourse, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was, and I won't have a reduced fuel capacity. And next step, I'm going to sandblast it and finish the outside of it. Okay, I'm going to wrap this video up. Try not to let them run over about a half an hour. I was going to try and finish the tank completely on this video, but it's getting a little bit long, and we just had a spring snowstorm, and I want to do the sandblasting outside, so I'm not going to do it for a few days. So I'll go ahead and wrap this one up. But go on back, and we'll be working on something else. Maybe we'll work on the differential next. Please like and subscribe, and even hit the notifications if you want to make sure you don't miss any videos. And I really do appreciate your watching, and see you on the next one. Have a good one.